Judge Joe
they had
Brown
children to
criticizes the
get the
child
money
support system
to
and
pay
gives
for
his thoughts on its
themselves.
effects on our relationships.
In other words, they got paid for breeding the way it worked out. And then you had typically Democratic Party types in the South who worked with these social agencies who would cut the check off if they found a man trying to be a father in a home. Some chick might have 5 or 6 different baby daddies, and 1 or 2 of them are trying to act like daddies. To get the check cut off, she said, you ain't coming around here. I don't want to lose my check. That check is funny. At Trinity Avenue Elementary School, myself, a guy named Ron Chappelle, now Dr. Chappelle, a guy named Clifford Stewart, now the late Dr. Clifford Stewart. They're both fiends in martial arts. And Dr. Joe Brown, you know, we all ran Trinity Avenue Elementary School. One of our students, I'm sure you've heard of, he was a skinny 12-year-old on the playground. His mama said, I'd rather my son be what he can be, and the check ain't that important. And he became the singer Barry White with the deep voice. He had some medical conditions and he died. Another one, he was a 14-year-old volunteer on the playground. His mama wanted that check. To hell with all that. And we couldn't get him out of the swamp. So he became the baddest alligator in the swamp. He was the last person California executed. His name was Tookie Williams, and he co-founded the Crips. Or one part of it out of L.A. See, so it is what it is. That's how, in one instance, somebody made it, but in the other, to get that check, somebody didn't. Well, let me give you a little anecdote. In my courtroom, the year is 1994. It ranges from 94 to 96, okay? Starts off, I've got this 57-year-old woman. She's in front of me on felony drug and theft charges. Her second oldest child, who is 43 years old, who was born when the 57-year-old was 14, she's in front of me on the same charges. The 43-year-old has a 34-year-old daughter in front of me on the same charges, who was born 1 week before the 43-year-old was 10 years old. So still 9. The 34-year-old had a brother who was 32, born when the 43-year-old was 11. And also a 31-year-old sister in there who was born when the 43-year-old was 12, okay? The 34-year-old had a 21-year-old in there with the same charges as everybody else in the family. The 21-year-old, when I sentenced her, had an 11-year-old daughter who was pregnant with her second child. 11, pregnant the second time. Now, about 16, 17 months later, they screwed up.
Damn.
So now I've got this 39-year-old in front of me on a probation violation, and the 21-year-old is 23. The 23-year-old's 11-year-old is now 13 with 3 children. And the 57, now 59-year-old comes back every 2 weeks as I want to eyeball her and keep her straight. And I've got these forms she has to get filled out by various and sundry people. So I'm keeping track of her. And I'm looking. 1 week, she's got literally 342 lineal descendants. Child, grandchild, great-grandchild, great-great-grandchild, and great-great-great-grandchild. 5. And she's still alive, and guess, she's only 59 years old. So she's got 5 generations. So 2 weeks later, it's not 342 anymore, it's 358. Add 4 years to this, and it's 2000. I retire.